Good morning, everyone. Today, I'm going to be talking about intermittent fasting. Am I still doing it? What are my thoughts on it? Has my opinion on it changed? Do I still recommend it, or do I think it's a little bit more iffy now? We're gonna dive into that, but I'm also going to take you through my day of eating and give you a sense of my eating timetable today, just to see if I do still intermittent fast, because to be completely honest, I don't pay attention to what time I eat anymore. So I guess that kind of answers the first question right off the bat. I don't intentionally intermittent fast at this point, but I also have no idea if I do intermittent fast because I just don't pay attention. I eat when I'm hungry, I stop when I'm full, I just listen to my body, and I go from there. So today, I'm gonna listen to my body and just see what happens with my eating. So first things first, I woke up 2 hours ago. I think for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna give you guys time reference points in reference to when I woke up and when I go to sleep rather than actual time of day, because I'm on a little bit of a weird schedule right now. But I woke up 2 hours ago and I really want to go get like a nice iced decaf mocha because it is very hot today and that just sounds lovely. Lately, I have actually been moving away from having my decaf iced mochas like every single day because I've just found other beverages that I've been really enjoying making in the morning, which I'm gonna make the other one that I've been having after the coffee probably. But I will say usually it's not 2 hours after I wake up that I go get my first morning beverage. Usually I kind of like get up, maybe futz around for a little bit and then go. But today I don't know what happened today. Just died. I don't know where the last 2 hours went. So I'm definitely starting my day of consuming things a little bit later than normal today. But another reason I don't know if I intermittent fast or not is because every day is kind of different for me. So don't take today as like, this is Marissa's eating schedule and this is what she does every day. Like that's not the case. My schedule changes a lot. So this is just like one particular day, we're gonna see what happens. So without further ado, I'm gonna go get a coffee. I will BRB. One decaf iced mocha has been acquired and one little kitty cat over there is desperately seeking attention. All right, it is about, what time is it? Where's my phone? Hang on. It's about an hour later apparently. It's 3 hours post wake up and I want to make my shilajit tea that I have been obsessed with in the last couple weeks. Like so much so that I kind of keep running out of ingredients, which is kind of annoying, but it's fine. But in the last like week or two, I have been leaning more on the shilajit tea and less on doing my little morning walk to get a mocha. Just because while I thoroughly love the morning walk and like everything about that, the actual getting the mocha is not something that I want to necessarily be consistently doing. It feels more in alignment with who I am and my goals and things that I love and value to like wake up and make like a shilajit tea or something like that's just so much more Marissa, you know? And lately I've just been absolutely loving it. So most of my days in the last like 2 weeks have actually started not with the mocha, but with me just making this tea. And again, usually a little bit earlier on in the day. It's not usually like 3 hours post wake up that I would be making this, I think. But again, I don't really pay attention, so I don't know. But I showed you guys how I make this a couple weeks ago, but I changed it up just a smidge and I'm a little bit more in love with this version. Like I think it only swapped out like one thing, but it makes it a little bit more fun. So I'm gonna show you what's going in it this time. So this is everything that's going in it. Of course, we have the shilajit. It wouldn't be shilajit tea without shilajit. I use the shilajit from Symbiotica, which is just a phenomenal supplement company. Everything is just like so pure, such freaking good quality. I am obsessed. So I guess a bit of context for those of you who don't know what the heck shilajit is or why I'm taking it. It is such a cool substance. I don't even know if I would call it like a supplement because it's kind of just a multi-mineral. It's like a sticky, sappy substance that's found in the rocks of the Himalayas and it's made from like decomposing plants over centuries. And it's just like a complex mineral nutrient with over 84 different minerals. Studies show that it can positively regulate the HPA axis, which can be huge. It can positively affect the metabolism, kind of helping the body and the mitochondria convert fats and sugars into ATP, which is the body's main source of energy. So in that way, it kind of boosts mitochondrial function and as we all know, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. So if you are boosting mitochondrial function, you are boosting overall body health, you're boosting brain function, you're boosting cellular energy. Like, it's just kind of, to not use a scientific term, it's like an invigorating tonic. So if you do want to try out shilajit, I highly recommend getting it from Symbiotica. Big shout out to them for sponsoring this video. They are one of my absolute favorite supplement companies because they're like at the intersection of good quality science and also more like traditional Eastern medicine, and combining that to make like the coolest, best thing. Like, you guys know me, I'm into both of that and kind of finding the balance between the two, and that is like where they are at as a brand and as a company. And so it's just, I love their stuff. Like, for example, some of their other supplements, like they have a really good magnesium, vitamin C, etc. They're in liposomal form, which is like cutting edge technology for making it the most bioavailable and easy to absorb for the body. So you're getting so much more out of taking that supplement than you would if it weren't in liposomal form. And they're also all about quality, which again, you guys know me, is so important to me. Like, they use only organic, wild-crafted, non-GMO ingredients. The way that they process everything is just super on point to like retain as much of the like nutrients and benefits of whatever it is as possible and still deliver like a high quality product. Basically, I can't say enough good things about Symbiotica, and I'm like genuinely stoked to be working with them. So if you do want to check out their shilajit or any of their other products, which I highly recommend looking into, they have a lot of really good quality supplements. You can use my code FIT15 to get yourself 15% off. I will leave a link for you down in the description box below. Highly recommend you check it out. But without further ado, let's break down the rest of this recipe and I will show you how I make it. So one of my favorite ways to kind of mask the taste is to combine it with lemon, honey, and a little bit of mint. So this is just like a mint ginger tea, so I'll throw this in. I have my Beekeeper's Naturals, of course, bee-powered superfood honey. I'm almost running out of this, but thankfully I have 2 more in my cabinet, so we're all good. Gonna juice half a lemon, and then I also, this is kind of the new thing, which is why I wanted to show you. I have been adding lemon LaCroix to it to make it like bubbly and more fun. That's literally the only difference, but I highly recommend making it bubbly. I think bubbly is great. And then this has nothing to do with the flavor, but I do add collagen to it just to get some collagen in, because why not? So let's make this. And we have a shilajit lemon honey mint tea. Honestly, perfect thing for a disgustingly hot day.
I love this.
I am actually getting pretty hungry though, so I think I'm gonna get started on making breakfast, which may have to be just another classic chocolate frosty smoothie bowl, or just like random leftovers. I have a lot of random leftovers in the fridge that I need to get through. My dinner might end up being just a weird collage conglomeration of random leftovers, so be prepared. I'm gonna make the chocolate frosty smoothie bowl. I'll have like a go-to Marissa breakfast, and then dinner's gonna be weird. We're officially at 4.5 hours post wake up, and I have my first like real meal, my classic chocolate frosty smoothie bowl. I showed how I make this like 2 videos ago. Also, recipe is on my website, MissFitAndNerdy.com, if you want the full recipe for this. But it's basically loaded with veggies, protein, fiber, healthy fats, carbs, all of the good stuff, and it's delicious. Even though it's my first like meal, I broke my fast when I got the coffee. Whether or not black coffee breaks the fast, up for debate, I don't really care. But a mocha absolutely breaks a fast, because you're gonna be having carbs, you're gonna be having fat, you're gonna be spiking your insulin. So this is not me breaking my fast. My fast was broken long ago, and I had the tea, which has protein in it because of the collagen. It has carbs, it doesn't have fat in it. But I've had, if I had to guess, maybe like 300-ish calories worth of carbs and protein before having this, so definitely not in a fasted state
4.5 hours after waking up. And this does tend to be my pattern. Again, I don't know if I usually wait 4.5 hours after waking up. Again, today is kind of a weird day, but my eating rhythm definitely is usually like wake up, have some sort of a beverage that is almost certainly going to have some amount of nutrition in it that would break a fast, and then usually have like food an hour or two or so later, like whenever I get hungry. I don't wake up hungry. And even before I ever intentionally started intermittent fasting, I have never been a hungry in the morning kind of person. So like waking up and starting my day with various functional beverages and then having food once I get hungry comes very naturally to me, and it's not something I do intentionally. I'm not like, okay, like I can only drink things until a certain time. That's not at all the case. And if on the odd day I do wake up hungry, like I eat when I'm hungry. And I think that's probably why when I tried intermittent fasting intentionally for the first time, like 5 years ago now, I can't believe it's been that long since I started my channel. That was like one of my very first videos on this channel, was trying intermittent fasting for 2 weeks. But I think my natural inclination to like not really be hungry in the morning made intermittent fasting just feel very natural. And I think that's kind of why I fell in love with it and then actively tried to apply it for a while.
But simply because it's really not working with my schedule very much right now, because I am not making enough money right now to pass up a free lunch. And
okay, so I couldn't remember why I quit intermittent fasting, so I just went and looked at my old video on why I quit intermittent fasting. And I ended up stopping because I had just graduated college, ended up working on sets, like on movie productions, and I was not making a lot of money. And they give you plenty of free food. Not plenty, definitely not plenty. You get food sometimes on set. And so I had no control over the schedule at which I was being fed or the schedule in which I could go get my own food. Like working on set is just hectic. I wanted to take advantage of all of the free food that I could get, and so I just let that dictate my eating schedule. So I didn't quit intermittent fasting because like it wasn't working or I had negative side effects or anything. It just didn't fit in my lifestyle at that point. And I think from there I dabbled in and out of intermittent fasting periodically after that maybe, but I never went back to like a super rigid like 16/8 intermittent fasting split for like an extended period of time. And how this kind of turned out for me in the last 4 whatever years, however long it's been since I quit intermittent fasting, is just eating when I'm hungry, which for me does mean waiting quite a while after I wake up to actually eat food, because I just don't get hungry in the morning. So I have not been intentionally intermittent fasting, but I'm pretty sure on average day to day, I'm not eating in more than a 12-hour window. Sometimes I do, because who knows, things happen. Maybe I go out and I eat late. Maybe I wake up in the morning and I'm hungry, but I'm not intentionally shrinking that window. I'm hungry when I'm hungry, okay? It is now 6 hours post wake up, and I think it's time for me to get a little bit of movement in. I told you guys, what, last video, 2 videos ago? Last video, that I injured myself and hadn't worked out in like 2 weeks. It's been a couple days since I filmed that video and I still really haven't done a workout. My workout motivation majorly tanked. So that is something that I am dealing with right now, which maybe I'll circle back to in a future video. But I'm in the process of trying to like rebuild my schedule and the discipline around my new training routine that I've been trying and failing to kind of implement consistently. So I think I'm gonna go for like a decent walk, maybe do like 3 weighted exercises, like lighter-ish weight, because again, I haven't really worked out and I don't know how my knee is going to deal with extra load. And then I want to do like 20-30 minutes of yoga. Workout accomplished. We're now about 7.5 hours post waking and I am having a little kombucha. I think I'm gonna have dinner. I don't know. I thought I'd be hungry right now, but I'm not very hungry, so we'll see when I have dinner. But for now, I'm having a kombucha because I'm thirsty. So like I said, dinner is gonna be the most random assortment of foods. I have these leftovers. It's just ground up chicken, beans, and rice, which honestly, that's probably enough food by itself, but it's also a really boring dinner. And I would eat like half of it and then eat some of this other stuff, but if I don't eat this tonight, I'm gonna have to throw it away because it's been on my fridge for a while and I don't want food poisoning. I also have these leftovers from last night, so I have a little like gluten-free veggie flatbread guy, some fries, and then like a couple bites of a turkey wrap left. And I don't want this to go bad either because it's all really good. So I'm gonna heat all of this up and then eat what I can. All right, this is what we got for dinner. All the rice, beans, chicken, flatbread veg pizza, a little bit of fries. I honestly threw most of them away because they were, you know, day-old fries are not the best. And then the couple bites left of turkey wrap. I need a fork. Fork acquired. It is now 9 hours post wake up and I'm about to dive into dinner. We are at 10.5 hours post waking up and I'm about to have a little dessert. I got myself this cookie the other day. It's called the Monster Cookie Chocolate Almond. The first ingredient is almond butter and the second ingredient is dates and then peanut butter. I feel like this may have been a mistake. This sounds like it's not actually gonna be that good. I just saw that it was gluten-free and a chocolate cookie and I got excited, but oh, the texture is not pleasant. Oh, this is wholly disappointing. Oh no. It's already making me thirsty and I've only had one bite. I'm sad. I was really looking forward to this. I'm gonna eat this because I grabbed it and try to pawn this off on a roommate and grab something else for dessert. All right, got my bottle of water because it genuinely made me so thirsty. And instead, for dessert, I'm gonna have Justin's peanut butter cups. And if I still want more after that, I don't know why I also grabbed this. I'm probably not gonna want more, but I have this like little salted caramel truffle from Alter Eco, which has been sitting in my cabinet for like ever. So I figured I should eat it. So it's now 12 hours post waking up and I'm actually about to get ready for bed. Like I said, I'm on a weird schedule right now, so honestly today may not have been the best day to test whether or not I intermittent fast on the regular. I am about to take some Symbiotica liposomal magnesium L-threonate, just because I know I'm a little bit deficient in magnesium, and magnesium is great for boosting sleep quality, and I very much need that right now. But this will be the last thing that I consume. Are there even calories in here? There's 35 calories. Technically, this would be not fasting. So that would mean today, from start to finish, when I consumed my first calorie to my last calorie, I ate everything in a 10-hour window. If we take this out, it would have been an 8-hour window, but I do feel like with my normal schedule, like today definitely was a lot more condensed. So I think my normal schedule would definitely have been much more like 10 to 12 hours of an eating window. But just like with the way that I naturally eat, from first calorie to last calorie, I think it's naturally around like 10 to 12 hours. So I suppose that's where I'm at with intermittent fasting. But quickly to break down whether or not I still recommend intermittent fasting and what my current thoughts are on it overall. A lot of what I said about intermittent fasting way back when, like 5 years ago when I was making a ton of content about it, still stands. Like I still do think a lot of people do have some amount of insulin resistance and intermittent fasting can really help improve that. The caveat here is that I think this is more appropriate as like a short-term intervention, or at least not necessarily inherently a long-term intervention. Because intermittent fasting can be great for healing insulin resistance, but once your insulin resistance is healed, you might not necessarily need to intermittent fast anymore. It's like doing an elimination diet until symptoms go away and then reintroducing foods after your body has healed. Your body can tolerate a lot more foods after like your gut has healed or whatever issues that you had have healed. So I think this is important to remember for any intervention, that just because something is really helpful at getting rid of symptoms or healing a specific thing doesn't mean it necessarily needs to be applied forever and always. Like sometimes the intervention can just be applied for the healing process, and then you can slowly transition to something that feels more optimal for you or that can help heal the next step of your journey. Or, you know, if you were using intermittent fasting to heal insulin resistance, maybe you're doing the 16/8 intermittent fasting, maybe you like now your insulin resistance is better and so you bump it out to like 10-hour eating window, and then you're still doing good, so you bump it out to like a 12-hour eating window. And then by then most people aren't really trying to narrow things down into a window. Like a 12-hour window is a pretty solid amount of time to be eating, and you still get a lot of the benefits of intermittent fasting with a 12-hour eating window. So my caveat to I think that most people would benefit from intermittent fasting is obviously if you have like underlying health conditions, check with your doctor, etc., etc. But also if you have a natural menstrual cycle, for some people it can exacerbate hormone imbalances. And here's the thing with hormone imbalances is in general it's kind of like a stress bucket, and if something fills up your stress bucket and makes it overflow, then you start having issues. And for some people, intermittent fasting can be more of a stressor on the body and cause hormone issues to develop. But from what I've seen personally, this really comes down to individual tolerance. So especially with some of my clients, like I will have some of them intermittent fast and then others I'll be like absolutely do not intermittent fast, and this is based on, you know, how their hormones are behaving and how they're responding in the gym and what their sleep is like and all of that. Like if they have a ton of other stress going on in their life, their hormones are crazy out of whack, I'm probably gonna be like, okay, let's not intermittent fast because we don't wanna risk that adding stress to your body. But for someone else who may be in a more hormonally stable place, it might be a good thing to implement. And then in implementing it, we would watch, make sure that it's not throwing anything off, make sure that no hormonal imbalance symptoms develop. But again, it really comes down to the individual, their tolerance, what their body thrives best on. Like some people are just gonna thrive more in an intermittent fasting type of lifestyle, and for some people, that's going to have a more negative effect. Again, bio-individuality. If you have amenorrhea, particularly hypothalamic amenorrhea, you may want to avoid intermittent fasting. But again, there may be some exceptions to this rule. There may be some people that need to implement intermittent fasting. A lot less likely, but like it may be the case. On the flip side, if you're on hormonal birth control and the birth control is basically like taking over your hormones, then you can probably intermittent fast and it's not gonna affect your hormones because you're giving yourself artificial hormones anyway. But that's what I mean when I say natural menstrual cycle. So if you're on hormonal birth control and you're getting your period, which is technically not a period, it's a withdrawal bleed if you are on hormonal birth control, but if you're in that camp, you do not have a natural menstrual cycle. And so I'm not talking to you when I say that it may negatively impact your hormones. But yeah, basically it boils down to, I still am a big proponent of intermittent fasting. I think it can make a lot of difference for a lot of people, but there are a couple things to be wary of, and also bio-individuality. So with that said, it is time for me to get ready for bed. Let me know if you guys have any follow-up questions about intermittent fasting. I've been getting like a lot of questions about this lately, so I wanted to address kind of everything in a video. But if there's more, happy to talk about it in a future video. Make sure you do use the link in the description to check out Symbiotica and use my code FIT15 to get yourself 15% off any of their products. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It really does support me and my channel. I really genuinely appreciate it. Please share this video with your friends, your family, and your neighbors. If you want to see more content from me all about health and fitness, you can check it out over here. To see future videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the little notification bell so you get notified when I post a video, and I will see you very soon. Bye!